noisy as hailstorm. However, I hope you can hear me. I want to show you something. I put the spacers on it, the adapters, and adjusted the coil obviously a little bit, so the car is actually on its own weight now. This chassis is not resting there. You can see it's actually moving. So it's actually its own weight. But I want to show you something. What I want to show you the importance of the, that's better, the importance of the cross member between a strut bar. Now usually normal cars, they have top mounts attached to the rest of the body on the unibodies, okay? So you don't have that much of an effect here. We only have the struts on the top attached to the chassis, and that's it. There is nothing attached to the body or no reinforcements as you have on the modern cars, or as you will have to be on this. And you say, okay, why is it so important? This is the perfect example, because what's going to happen here is going to be very amplified. So let's measure the distance between this turret and this turret, only from here. If I measure on the top, it's going to be more, but it doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It's just for the purpose of illustration. To the inside there, I have, let's say, 78 and a half. Yeah, 78 and a half. Remember this. Now I'm gonna put the camera here, so maybe you can actually spot what's going on when I'm gonna lift it and obviously remove the wheels from the ground, so the chassis is gonna be lifted. It's not gonna have any torsion, any pressure on the springs. I don't know if you've seen it. You should be able to have seen it, I don't know. But let's measure this again. 78 and a half, right? We put this here proper. Remember, 78 and a half. Just over 80. 17 and a half, so that was half. One and a half, 15 mil. 15, 20 mil, whatever it's gonna be. However, it's a lot. So what happens, they twist. I mean, they don't twist. All of this is not twisting. That's fine. It's twisting the chassis leg a little bit, because you got the pressure there. Obviously pressure there, and trying to move it that way, and that's not even dynamic. That's just stationary. So that's why now it's very important to make that cross member and make everything stable. However, it cannot be just one pipe, because if you turn, let me put you here so you can actually tell you what I'm talking about. If it's just going to be chassis X on the bottom with the connected suspension turrets and the bar on the top, essentially what you do, you make a square. A square in the corner is not strong enough geometrically. You're still going to do this, but that's not good. So that's why you either triangulate it, so stop from doing that, because triangle you can't move it, or the top bar is not going to be a single one, but it's going to be double one, reinforced with the triangles, so it will stop it from moving. So that's what we're going to do. This essentially from very flexible, it's going to be really solid. This front end is going to be as solid as my race car, so it's very happy with that, because obviously you can make a handle actually good. I was hoping to make a handle decent. It's like, yeah, alright, it's all pickups, but no, it's not too bad. I still enjoy driving this. No, this is gonna handle great. So, apart obviously the big balloon wheels on the back, there's nothing I can do about those ones. There's gonna be some lateral flex, but front is gonna handle very good. So, alright. This is the start of the, let's call it, cross member. I've made those inserts here, which are like a guide for them, because I don't want any stress from this to this, between, obviously between the suspension turrets from one side to another, transferred just by a bolt or nut or anything like this. this has to be structural very strong. So what I did, that insert over there goes about 20 mil inside, and it's very thick as you can see, and it goes inside there. Now inside there you can tell there is another insert which is welded from both sides, just to keep the bolt inside them, everything nice and strong. So this is how it goes in. It slides in. Hold on, because I've done it wrong. I have to make it this way, above the pipe. So this goes there, one hand. This goes here, nice and precise. There you go. And all you do then at the end, obviously this is all solid, I can leave it like this, but obviously just to secure it to stay in place, you put these bolts on, high grade. Don't have to be, because again there's absolutely no stress on them, but you know, why not oversizing stuff, making sure that nothing is gonna break no matter what. And you put them on, looking precise, fits in nicely, no forcing anything. There you go, beautiful. Now obviously this is just the start, because we have to now make some sort of mount from this side, and then obviously do the second bar, but the second bar is not gonna be from here to there, because as you see it will go just in the front of my water adapters. So it has to go just above them, roughly here, and then we go from here down here. So I'm gonna make some sort of a triangle here, something like this, or maybe even that and that. I don't know, I have to think about, because obviously we need the merge collectors going from this side, so I need this space empty. So I'm gonna have a look my options, what's the best design to do it, and then we're just gonna proceed. This is the progress. As you see, I got the spaces, PCD adapters, I had the wheels on there, the front was already on its own weight on the wheels, just to see, just to try. Actually I can put it back on now, and that's it really. Plenty has been done, but I do like it. Alright, so I'm sorry not filming everything the way I'm making this stuff and all the progress on the previous videos, but there's so much going on at the moment. I'm just partially forgetting, partially trying to catch up with the time, and just not having any time to set the camera up and all that stuff, and partially just being lazy on it. But let me show you the progress. So this is the famous cross member. Now you may think, all right, this is just two pipes, there's not much going on, to be honest. And yeah, well, it may seem like, but this is not actually the truth. At this stage with this stuff, George asked me, which I'm 100% happy with, because it's exactly the same thing I wanted to do, is to make it very precise and just, you know, make it the best way possible in my own head. So this is not just a cross member, not just two pipes, not just some pipes put on the angle. This section has to match obviously this, because as you know, everything started when instead of making just simple top mounts, I made these kind of fancy tubular mounts, okay? But again, as I'm very obsessed with the geometry, everything has to be symmetrical, everything has to be perfect, and the beauty of this is not computer designed, this is not lazy cutted, this is all measured by hand using just normal tools, and you know, being precise with the hand job, nothing being computerized, nothing being designed or anything. It's just, you know, purely hand-built, handmade, and if it's precise, it's because you make it precise, not because a computer give you a hand or a software give you a hand. So let me guide you through, because there are a few things that you don't actually see or you don't pay attention on. So apart the fact, obviously this is all we've done the insert, so this guy actually slides in top, bottom and the top. So the bolts, yes, they're big, but to be honest, if you put a zip tie through this pipe to this pipe, this would be exactly as strong. The reason I'm saying that, because there is an insert, there is a centering, very strong inside. It goes about 15 mil 20 mil inside there and 15 mil out inside this, and it's very precise and it slides in. This is very thick, so this slides in and it stays there. As soon as you keep it there, and there's no force to pull this away from this part, there's absolutely no force, because the force is actually lateral. So you can actually keep it there with the fingers, even on full load when the chassis wants to twist, and you'll be able to do it. So like, that's what I'm saying, even a zip tie will hold this on. Of course, we put the bolts on it. Of course, I oversize them, because again, the way I like to do this stuff. And but let's get to the geometry. And first of all, obviously this pipe here had to be exactly the same level as this, because this is, well, this is the way I've seen it, this is the way I wanted to do it. Now, and obviously it fits. This was very lucky, and it just came out like this very nicely. We have enough space under the plenum and the front of the body, so this is absolutely beautiful. We got enough space for everything. Now, and then we start with the other pipe. This pipe here, it has a central, a certain angle. This angle is not just because I made it this way, or because there was a geometrical pattern, or because I've calculated the rest of it. No, this is exactly the same angle. I don't know if you can see. Let me just tap the camera. You can probably see it there. It's exactly the same angle as the angle of the heads, or the covers of the heads there. You can see it's exactly the same. So it takes resemblance of the engine that is behind it. Both ways, exactly the same. Okay. Now, the bottom pipe, okay, it has to be on the top. Obviously, the water pipes, they has to be here, but also the roughly, that's the, obviously has to be no lower, not too much higher. But the precision, the precise way where it has to be is actually dictated, sorry, from this pipe. Now, this pipe, if you actually pay attention, is exactly at the same angle as this pipe, okay, this one there. I don't know if the camera can show you that or not, but there you go. And but it's actually not in the middle. We decided with George, we don't want it actually on the top there, because if that was in the middle, only that section there, it will stick out and it will kind of not make too much sense. So we decided to have the edge of this pipe exactly where the middle of that pipe is, if you see it straight. So this will be just half a moon, exactly half a moon, half the circle going out. But obviously it has to start from there. So this has to face the middle of the ball there, and it has to go on that angle, and then obviously it will face there on the bottom here. So, but from the, this is the point of the stress. So the same point of stress we have to transfer it to here, because this is the joint. Now, if this was here, if this was here, there will be kind of a different stressing on the material here. This is how you build this stuff. This has to match exactly the same height. So this pipe had to be exactly the same height where this is, and this is exactly what we achieved. Now, as we go forward, this pipe, when it gets up there, if you can see it from my point of view on the camera, it's difficult to show it. It is exactly where the head's angle is, and it ends on the top. And we want this then to go down, and I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you see that matches, this angle matches with the head here. So it's exactly the same angle, both of them, and they have to be symmetrical. So the distance between this and this, between this and now and this has to be spot on, symmetrical, and precisely the same, because otherwise I will feel sick. And so yeah, obviously I still have to wear it up. I haven't done it. I just finished to notch them up, and it does take quite a lot of time, because just imagine if this was 1 millimeter shorter, or even half a millimeter shorter, this angle would change. So I had to achieve both pipes exactly the same angle at the same place, matching the same pipe here, and same with this. So you may say this is, well, I could say as well, pointlessly complicated job. Pointless, maybe yes, in some point of view, maybe not. In my point of view, it's not, because this is the beauty of this stuff. This is where the best part of the labor goes, you know, and this is handmade and so precise. So this is actually the value of the build, you know. It's not just some knockoff. I like it. I'm very grateful that George actually agreed with me, and he's like, yeah, do this way, because this is exactly what I want, and this is exactly what I would like to build, and I have the opportunity to do it. because usually when you do stuff like this, people always looking for the good balance between the money they're gonna spend and the result. And George, luckily, he's after the result first. He doesn't care how much it's gonna cost more, but he wants this to be just absolutely spot on, you know. And he shares exactly the same idea or ideology on how to build this with me. Or at least he seems to like what I'm doing. He's very happy. So I think I'm lucky in that position, because obviously I can do what I think is best, and it's just, you know, I got a nice white piece of paper and just, you know, design it and just build it. But the beauty of this build is, like, I don't know if you've seen it before, I have not designed this. This is just came out like this. You must know this before. You know, I don't know if I said it or not before, but if I didn't, I just say again. The cab is on the place where it should be. Didn't move it. The engine is what it is. The front axle is on the original point, and the front turret, this I built it. It was very instinctive. It was just, I was like, well, I got this idea. Let's build it this way. I wasn't even planning this. I wasn't planning to do all of this stuff. It was supposed to be completely different, simple, and just straightforward. But it came out like this. And then we find out the engine actually stays behind it. So if I put these bars, they will be actually in the perfect position and all the stuff. So this job actually is a bit of like a painting. You just, you know, you just do it as you go. You just paint it as you feel. It's like it grows. It's neither alive, you know what I mean? It grows inside out, like everything in nature. And you just follow, obviously, the natural things to go with this stuff. You just ask him for it. You know, it's not actually me. It's just I'm trying to understand what you want and do it. I don't know if I'm explaining this the right way or not. Probably not, but I hope you understand what I mean. It's like usually I design this stuff, I build everything, I measure everything, and I plan everything ahead, like 10 steps ahead. There's no planning here. There's not such a thing as planning. The only thing I planned was the decision of using E46 BMW front end, like a subframe, you know, all the stuff, and that's it. From there, everything just developed actually, if you want to say it that way. It just grown from inside out, you know. From the obviously the engine was there, and obviously the engine position dictates obviously a lot of different stuff, and where the wheels have to be, when the front axle have to be, dictates and all that stuff. This was absolutely not planned, none of this. It just grows this way. So this is the most beautiful thing about this build. It just, like I like to say, it grows from inside out. And this is the latest one before the next camping. Wheels are off. To be honest, wheels are not the only thing that is off from the car, because also we have a part of the chassis completely off, which is down there. There's nothing here. Chopped it off completely, and I thought I'm gonna save that last part of it. Those bits, they was here, but to be honest, that is the only part of the chassis that wasn't in a great condition, because it's all chewed up and, you know, scrambled. So fuck it, we're gonna make a completely new chassis part till the very end of it. Now obviously this is very crucial, because especially now with these big drag tires, the geometry is very it has to be very precise, because it really makes a big difference. So I've been drawing a couple of things, finding the right geometry, because obviously you have to find the basic geometry of the car, the weight center and all the stuff, blah blah, how much is gonna weigh, do we gonna put the cage inside, if we do, what material we're gonna use, how heavy it's gonna be, where the weight distribution is gonna be, blah blah blah, and all this stuff, the final height of the ride, and then you're working out the geometry, because we don't want to give it too much squat but enough to grip enough, blah blah. We don't want to lift the front too much and all that stuff. So I supposed to make just a quick as usual quick brackets, you know, make the arms roughly where they should be, and it goes as it goes. I mean, this is not a competition car, it's more for a show, daily fun, whatever you want to call it. So it's not really that important. But I say, you know what, I have to design them anyway, have to engineer them anyway, we have to laser cut the flanges and everything anyway, so I may as well do it properly. So we've done proper drag style spec suspensions on the back. The only thing different is that the width of the axle, we're running very wide axle, and this is not very narrow one and all that stuff, so that's the only difference. But apart that, this is the final geometry. This is the bracket. Okay, usually I used to use a big better way, I used to use a big drawing board, you know, the nice professional one. This is how I draw. I don't use computer. I'm very much old school and I really like it. I didn't have anything here, so I just used one of my boards just to quickly mock it up and then draw it to do everything. This is 1:1 scale. This is the axle bracket. We're gonna have adjustments on the top, adjustments on the bottom, reinforcements, blah blah. It's gonna grab the axle up and down with reinforcements on the back as well. This is the chassis bracket, again a lot of adjustments, and I actually have done this one here. If you see this line here, this is supposed to match the one in the middle, but I actually exaggerated. I made one on the bottom, and when we're gonna put the arm on the axle on the lower point and on the lower point here, obviously this on the top will have to be moved as well, but we should be able to reach a very easy setup to lift the front. Now if the front is gonna lift or not, I'm not sure, because to be honest it is a fairly long wheelbase. I don't think we're gonna lift it, plus it's very low and all that stuff. So yes, 1000 brakes is a lot, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to lift that front up. However, we got the sticky tires on the prep surface, maybe Santabo, we can try just for fun, change the geometry and try to make it do wheelies. If it does good, if it doesn't, then well, we got the geometry to test it anyway, so we'll see. A couple more brackets and all the stuff, and now in the meantime my brother is actually working as we speak. Well, as we speak, I don't know when you're gonna see this video, but when I was making this video, well, I'm actually making this video now, he's doing this for me today because I really need it quick. And the reason why I need it quick is because my engine mounts for the MR2, as you've seen on the previous video probably, if not, have a look, I arrived, but they were wrong. There was a couple of things they were not right, so I had to send them back where they collected, and then they have to correct them and send them back to me. So I was hoping that if my brother can draw these flanges for me on the computer for the CAD, I can send them to them, and when they're gonna send my brackets back from where brackets, the engine mounts brackets and all the plates, they could actually do these ones for me quickly. As apologies to be obviously very light, hoping for this, and then we're gonna save some time. Otherwise it's gonna be at least 2-3 weeks time, and yeah, that's kind of long because I don't really have much work to be done on this before that. Maybe a part of the chassis, but that's not gonna take me 2 weeks, is it? It's only gonna take me a couple of days. So yeah, this is the latest update. I think this is it. I'm gonna put it on now because we need more stuff doing, and only then I can make more videos. But this is where we are now. Pretty good. And tomorrow here again, and Friday morning going camping again. But I've changed the vehicle. I sold the trailer, sold a couple of things, and I'm back on the bikes. This is very unusual for me because I used to race bikes, and then I used to have a sports bikes all the time, and never had anything like this, but it is surprisingly good. And we're gonna go camping with it with a friend of mine for 3 days trip around Snowdonia 360. It's 360 miles, but we're gonna do much more. And I actually bring the camera with me, show you how it goes. Should be interesting. Weather should be good, so yeah. No bad at all, no bad at all. A little bit of time for myself. we'll see.